To celebrate 25 years of EURES, we searched all over Europe for success stories and achievements that have benefited job seekers, workers, employers, and the EURES network over the last quarter of a century. The story you're about to hear features in a collection of EURES 25 podcasts, so make sure you check out the rest of them on the EURES portal. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another EURES podcast, where we travel around Europe in search of great stories on freedom of movement and the role that EURES plays in them. My name is Katerina. I'm a communication specialist working with ECHO to bring this podcast to you. This time, we're traveling to Germany to meet Sylvia Müller-Wolf. Sylvia is one of the longest serving members of the EURES network, and we will be talking to her to hear her perspective on how the network has changed over these last 25 years. Welcome, Sylvia, and thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I'll start this off by asking you to tell us a few words about yourself, where you're from, and your background.
Yeah, I was born and raised in the region of Heidelberg, and I have a university degree in public administration. I work as an EURES advisor in Arbeitsagentur, that is the public employment service in Karlsruhe in Baden-Württemberg. The city of Karlsruhe is located in the southwest of Germany on the River Rhine. It's close to the French border. And our region is characterized by many French cross-border workers who commute daily to the other side of the Rhine to work on the German side.
And when did you first get involved with EURES, and how did that happen?
Well, in 1992, I was asked if I would be interested in participating in a pilot project. It was a training organized by the European Commission. And 1992, that was a year of the completion of the single European market. And the Commission had launched an initiative to help citizens make free movement a reality within the 12 member states at that time. A training of 100 EURES advisors from these 12 member states was planned, and 11 of them participated, excluding Luxembourg. And I was so proud to be one of those 100 candidates. So we started our training in May 1992 in Strasbourg, and this was the very first beginning of EURES. Then I completed my basic training in January 1993, and since that time I have been working continuously as EURES advisor.
And what does a typical workday look like for you?
Oh, my schedule that varies widely every day. I spend most of my time answering questions to employees, employers, and colleagues who have questions about social security, taxation, recruitment, posting of workers, job searches, application procedures, and. My advice is typically done in face-to-face counseling sessions, but sometimes I also run group sessions. And I have regular office hours in France for cross-border workers and for companies that employ international staff. And I assist in meetings and workshops with partners within our cross-border network.
What are some of the EURES initiatives that you implemented yourself or were involved in that you are most proud of?
I created handbooks and information brochures concerning cross-border regulations and intercultural differences. And I was invited to share my knowledge and experience in several twinning projects in Lithuania, in the Czech Republic, in Bulgaria. It was in the context of the European accession. And I organized a couple of weekly seminars. It was in Karlsruhe on living and working in Germany for EURES advisors. And I was invited for more than 10 years to be a guest on a late afternoon TV show called Coffee or Tea, where I had to answer live phone calls from viewers during the broadcast. And the topic was EURES living and working in Europe. The questions, they ranged from job search, internships, social insurance, to moving abroad, studying, and recognition of qualifications.
So you were involved in a lot of interesting initiatives. Let's move on now to your work with job seekers. During the past quarter of a century, you've helped a lot of people find their ideal jobs. Can you think of a story or two that still resonates after all these years?
Yes, a young man, a young smart man with a good position and a permanent work contract, he came to my office. He wanted to quit his job to work abroad. I brokered him a job. It was working as Mickey Mouse in Disneyland in Paris. Immediately, I got an angry phone call from his mother. She verbally attacked me. How could you do this? We just settled, we built a house. He's living in the other apartment. And then in Paris, he met an Irish girl. He married her. He went with her to Ireland and he became a successful manager at an international company because of his experience abroad. And then his mother, she gave me a phone call again, but this time she was grateful and happy.
That's quite a turn of events. And since you joined EURES in the 1990s, how has the nature of your job changed? For example, with respect to technology or even cooperation with the network and employers?
So at the beginning, we didn't have internet. And I spent many hours in libraries to inform myself. I copied for hours to send the requested informations to my clients. And it was difficult to get in contact with my colleagues within the network. And now it's much more easier because of the internet. One click and we are connected. Requests concerning job vacancies, they are decreasing because this information can easily be found online. But I have more and more requests concerning coordination of social security and taxation. And there is an increasing demand in providing professional advice.
And given all of these changes, what challenges do you now face in your job and how do you deal with them?
I think the challenges are the constantly changing legal regulations and the changing exchange programs and the changing labor markets. So you always have to be up to date. The solution is lifelong learning.
Let's move on to this milestone that is EURES celebrating 25 years of existence. What do you believe has been the added value of EURES all these years?
I believe the added value of EURES is the network. I have colleagues spread all over Europe, and each of those colleagues has his or her own local network. So each of us knows someone who can answer whatever question we may have.
And what do you think needs to be done for EURES to continue to thrive in the future?
I think it's important to do more public relations work to make the EURES brand better known. Anyone who has questions about working in Europe should think immediately of EURES. And to boost visibility of EURES, perhaps it would be a solution if EURES were an obligatory task for the public employment services. Most colleagues do EURES advisory work in addition to their other responsibilities, and they often don't have enough time to work for EURES. Another possibility would be for the Commission to launch a Europe-wide advertising campaign to promote EURES, as they did for the Europass.
And what do you think is the best part of working for EURES?
Definitively my international contacts within our network. Many colleagues have been my friends through years of cooperation, and I think it's something very special to have friends all over Europe. And in addition, I have a wide range of clients, employees of all kinds, from trainees to managers, all types of enterprises, small and large companies, craft and industrial enterprises. I deal with cross-border workers, with institutions, administrations, and with authorities. And I have such an interesting and varied job, and no 2 days are alike.
Finally, Sylvia, Do you have any words of wisdom or advice that you would like to share with your new EURES colleagues from across Europe?
Yes, I think it's important to create your own local network while maintaining our international EURES network. I think it's important not just to be in the office, but go out and be present at events relevant to Europe in your own region. Be present at international companies, get in contact with other authorities, be involved in international activities in your region. And this is the best way to make yourself known as an EURES advisor.
There you have it, the words of wisdom by one of our longest serving EURES advisors. Network, network, network. Thank you so much, Sylvia, for sharing your experience and your perspective on the evolution of EURES. And thank you for listening. And I hope you join us for our next EURES podcast.